Okay, folks, I'd just like to show you some old stuff again. Both of these guns here are over 100 years old each one. This one's a modern configuration, very similar. Quite a few other companies make similar A5, like an A5. But this is an A5 Browning. This one, going by its serial number and a rough guess and so on, because Browning don't have a good list of new models. But this one was probably made about 1915, 1916 maybe. Still in very, very good condition, other than a bulge right at the end of the barrel, which we could fix. We could just knock it off and probably put a thin wall choke in it, and it would be quite okay. Everything else is good on it. It's got a little crack in here, which is normally what happens with these, because the fore-end is really just a shell around the magazine tube, and they have a terrible habit of cracking here. This one is a little bit older. This was probably around about 1912, 1913, 14 maybe, going by the serial number. And someone's done a patch-up job, probably because of the fore-end crack, and they've covered it in a fiberglass cloth and resin, and it'll never crack again in its life, in the rest of its life. But that's not bad for an old shotgun that's well over 100 years old. It's had a rather unique repair to the rear stock too. Copper plate on either side with a whole heap of thumb shoe tacks by the look of it in there. But it's held it together. It's very solid. But it's interesting, Browning was one of Winchester's major designer, and he designed some lots of lever action rifles for them, and some 22 bolt action rifles and so on. And Winchester, the guy who was the manager of Winchester at the time, wanted to continue with the lever action, and so he asked Browning to design the lever action, which ended up to be the 1887 lever action, which some people will be familiar with. The Chinese made a copy of them, the IAC. Anyway, that was sort of successful, and Browning then convinced them that pump action shotgun, I beg your pardon, that he wanted to build auto. He'd got one of these, got an A5 to working and patented and functioning, but Winchester weren't interested. They want lever actions, but Browning told them that the pump action was going to be the thing to go for, but they weren't interested. So
it's funny because Bannerman's was doing quite well in the 1880s, nearly 1890s, weren't they?
Yeah. Anyway, after a bit of mucking around in America, we gave Remington and Savage permission or a license to build it, but they were only building very small numbers. So we went to Europe, went to FN, and they loved it. He made an order for 10,000, the first order, and got them back to America, and they sold like hotcakes. And FN then continued manufacturing until 1939, when other things took over, and no doubt they were making all sorts of firearms for the Belgian government as well as anyone else who could get them. And then, of course, by 1940, late 1940 to 41, the Germans had taken over and they were building stuff for the Germans. And so during the wartime, funnily enough, Remington, from 1940 to 1946, Remington carried on manufacturing. Not in huge numbers, but there are some around. I've seen a couple of examples, and I've seen one example of the Savage, and they're very, very similar. A few minor differences to them. Browning made these in straight stock models as well. These are both pistol grip, English style rounded butt pistol grip. But I grew up on a farm where there was one of these, a straight stock model, and we were blessed and been given it quite often to go and shoot a heap of ducks or go and take a shooting and go and shoot some foxes. And funnily enough, I remember the serial number of that was in the just 19,000 or something, which means it would have been probably made around about 1905, 1906 at the very latest. And it unfortunately went back into buyback and is probably some part of a railway carriage by now or something like that.
Landfill.
Or landfill, yeah, which is a real shame. It was a beautiful old gun. But as you can see, it's a pretty solid gun. Browning, I always made steel. This is a later copy that I reckon the sweetest sort of compliment you can give anyone is to copy something. So this is actually made in Italy. What did you say it was, Ross?
Asus.
Asus. Stockland by Asus.
Asus, yeah.
Oh, Sportland by Asus.
Asus, yeah, Asus. But it's a Browning long recoil design. Exactly the same as the A5. And of course, lots of manufacturers copied that design of Browning's. Very reliable, comfortable to shoot too, even though there's a lot of recoil happening and the barrel's recoiling. It's comfortable to shoot. As a 12, 14-year-old, it wasn't uncomfortable to shoot, although I suppose a fair bit of that was enthusiasm to shoot a shotgun.
But that recoil system soaks up.
It does. It seems to soak up a lot of the recoil. You've got a fair bit of weight coming back, but then you've got a fair bit of weight going forward as well. Because the barrel recoils forward. As it goes forward, it trips the cartridge stop. The lifter flies into action, lifts the cartridge up, the bolt flies forward, and you're off and racing again.
Do you reckon this video will play? Like if you turn the...
I reckon it's going to look shit if I do that, but...
Well, people can look up themselves, but I just wanted to demonstrate that even now people are using the concept that this shotgun
I mean,
has.
if I had this working on a laptop, I could use OBS Studio to plug it in.
This had a light
Oh,
video.
it's not looking too bad.
Hit the lights, Bill.
Yeah, hit the lights.
Turn the lights on.
Yeah.
Yeah, might have to get a bit closer now. Oh yeah, get a bit closer and...
Is it better?
So this is a 50 BMG bullpup rifle.
Yeah, but is anyone going to be looking at it?
Yeah.
It's got a Lynx GMC or something. Same concept. You see the barrel recoiling back inside the action.
Oh yeah. Don't Barrett use it? Barrett. Oh, no.
I think Barrett uses short recoil.
Yeah, they use a recoil system.
Locks back. Barrel goes forward. Case ejects.
Yeah.
And then the barrel bolt comes forward.
See, I want to do a video like that with our muzzle brakes. Leaves flying everywhere and shit.
Yeah.
I like where he's managed to lock it back so it's compact.
Pretty powerful squad.
Gotta say, it's a shame he didn't bother trying to Mozambique him.
not bad. But it's the same concept that Browning came up with, essentially.
I reckon we should get them for the marksman course.
Lever release, you say.
Well, you say leave a release.
Right.
Locks the bolt.
Yeah, leave a
Right,
release.
so there you go.
Yeah.
Lights on.
So what model was that? Was the Lynx something?
GMC, 50 BMG, something. So that's the same concept. So the barrel and the bolt come back.
Hey guys, I'm
Got it all in?
Oh, can we?
Yeah, just switch that off.
The barrel goes back,
Bolt locks
locks
back. Barrel comes forward.
empty goes out.
What kicks the empty out?
It's got an extractor, an ejector on the other side there.
Yeah, but surely if it's locked all the way back, it's already hitting the ejector.
Because as the barrel goes forward, it hits the ejector.
Do you want
Oh, the ejector comes forward and hits it and knocks it out. Ah, that makes sense.
Yeah. And then, when the barrel goes forward, when there's another round in there, it trips the lifter, and the bolt shuts. And you're ready to go again.
We need to
Pretty cool.
I reckon we should take it to the farm and do a Friday Night Live demonstrating the action.
Yeah, let's demonstrate something no one can have.
Well, people can have it.
Well, yeah, practical shotgun and that sort of shit. But I don't think anyone wants one of them for practical shotgun.
Why not?
A few people do. But this is much the same, except the button's on the other side. Uses a long recoil system. Same idea.
It's not a gel blaster, but if I ordered this online, it just comes through the mail.
Oh,
So if
cool.
I had that though, out in public, would people naive people who don't know anything about firearms, would they think that that's an RPG setting?
Of course they would.
Mate, I've walked
Should I
around.
have to hand this in?
I've walked around with big
Don't care,
cameras on my
motherfucker.
tripod, and people thought it was a gun. So yes, that is a dangerous weapon.
Well, why are we caring about the opinions of people who don't know? The fuck they've took it.
But it's so powerful that you can catch the projectile.
They actually threw it back at me faster than what it was. And this thing's got a bigger spring in it than any bloody gel blaster.
Yeah.
Well, it's firing a big projectile.
Yeah.
So there you go.
So yeah, we spoke to some people today about gel blasters and legislation and that sort of stuff, and how gel blasters don't actually hold any risk to public safety themselves
No.
because they don't have enough energy. But it's the fear of public safety that's the issue, Bill. There's a rendition of what Dara O'Brien says. It's like the fear of zombies might be incredibly fucking high, but we don't ban cemeteries, do we? You know, like just in case they can't start sprouting up out of the ground.
But we're going to have a lot more information about that next week when their report comes out.
Yeah,
We're looking forward to seeing it.
I don't think it's going to change anyone's mind because
Oh, it might inform a few people. Like there are lots of people who are very ignorant.
Yeah, there's, maybe might inform a few people, but I think our government's relying on people being ignorant to
Or just fearful.
Yeah.
They rely on
this
fear.
sort of stuff. And just to say, I don't sell gel blasters, and I've got no intention to. So I've got no skin in the game. You know what I'm saying? It's just. It's stupid, and we all should be calling out this sort of stuff for what it is.
I think if we don't make a stand, they'll pick on something else next, and it will affect us.
Yeah.
They're going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
They'll chip away.
Whereas if we try to slow them down here,
Well, we'll at least let them know that we know that they're misleading the public.
yeah.
50 BMG bottle openers. I haven't been able to get 50 BMG projectiles for a long time now, and I've been meaning to.
I'm going home.
Catch you, mate.
Catch you later, Ross.
Bye.
But I've been needed to make some bottle openers for a while. So I'm actually spinning up my own produce. Well, they're nothing special to look at. Like once they're inside there, they look like anything else. But it's actually quite a high BC shape. I've actually
We should try shooting one.
We should shoot them.
You should shoot them.
Oh.
With links.
Well, the problem is...
Did you weigh them? How much do they weigh?
Oh, fuck knows.
They're solid brass.
These are solid brass, though. That's the thing. I need copper.
Yeah.
Because solid brass is much harder.
Yeah.
And so I don't reckon it'll form rifling properly, you know.
Yeah.
It might increase the pressures too much.
Yeah.
And we might end up with another,
Big rupture and fucking...
yeah.
You don't really want that happening in a 50 BMG.
No, there's a lot of gas in there.
No. Squeeze bore 22, you'd get away with it,
Yeah.
you know. But I'd like to find some copper. Because what I'd like to do is I'd like to turn copper progies on my machine and then run them through a die. You know, push them through a swaging die to get them to exactly 510 thou, you know, or like, you know, 10,000th of a thou over 510, you know what I'm saying? And so they're perfectly formed and billet machined and that sort of stuff. And then I'd like to try it. Because I'm actually, not this, so that's a Secando drive.
Yeah.
So, but the other ones that I've done have all had ballistic diagrams modelled off supersonic rockets,
Oh, yeah.
where it's actually optimal for supersonic flight, optimal nose cone design to get high ballistic coefficients. But they're long, so you need a fast twist rate to shoot them.
Yeah.
That's the downside.
What, you get your off date or just one with the next?
No, he pointed me in the right direction,
Yeah.
and then I did a lot of maths and stuff and worked out exactly what sort of thing it was. Because with rockets, because they're fin stabilised, you don't have to spin stabilise them.
Yeah.
You can get away with a much longer
Yeah.
design.
Yeah.
You can have your centre of mass further, you know, the geometric centre further away from the centre of pressure, and it will stay stable. We can't do that with spin stabilised projectiles.
Unless we use a Sabo.
Yeah, which is illegal.
Oh,
But here's what I
Didn't know it was
didn't know.
illegal.
Here's what I didn't know. You know the rockets which are like 2 or 3 stage rockets?
Yeah.
The last part hasn't got any fins on it
Right.
because it's spin stabilised. So the first stage is like the big rockets that they discard. They've got fins on them and they're fin stabilised. But then the last part, like the lunar module on the Apollos,
Well,
no fins, and they spin very slowly, but they spin to keep them stable.
they have to because there's no atmosphere.
Yeah.
Because
Amazing.
a fin stabilised rocket would only operate properly in an atmosphere.
I don't know.
Well, it's got to have something.
Yeah, it's got something to work against.
So you think even a spin stabilised project would need some sort of atmosphere?
No, just that acts like a gyroscope.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Anyway, so if you want bottle openers, let me know because I'm going to make a batch soon, and I like to make them in batches. If I make a batch and then you want one, and I'll finish, well then you dip out. Because I've got no patience. I'm not going to make one, you know, like... It was bad enough I made those little, that's something, I don't have them because they're off getting blue.
No.
But the little adapters,
They're out there.
yeah, I'm not going to get them though. So we're making little adapters now I made a batch of adapters for Impala shotguns, which have got a threaded attachment to them now so you can put whatever bolt handle you want on it. So if you've got an Impala and you don't like the bolt handle that's on it, or if you want something different, we do these little adapters. So that bolts straight into the side where the old bolt handle is, and then you've got the thread, and then you can just screw a bolt handle or whatever you want on there. You just tell us what you want and we'll make it. So little CNC manufactured parts. So a bit of Australian ingenuity.
Oh yeah.
They're not terribly different.
Australian manufacturing.
Although I had three goes because the first one I made wasn't long enough, and then I made a longer one, and then we changed the design so you could make the bolt handle screw on easier and stay there and that sort of shit.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's just
No,
they weren't simple, but they weren't.
it's a development project. It's got to be. You very rarely make the first one perfect. Well, I make them perfect all the time. Yeah.
That's only because you're too lazy to make a second one.
Yeah, you've got to make it
You
right.
never make a prototype. Bill never makes a prototype.
I always,
You just make it work.
yeah. It's a
Move
start.
on and do something else.
Yeah, then go and do something. But
Where would I get copper from though?
I don't know.
Because I rung around and no one sells it. Well, not no one, but
What
someone must sell
What about the people we bought the alley from?
it. Yeah, get hold of them.
I got.
I should just ring up bloody Scotty Brandis. He'd probably know.
Oh, that's me.
Or he might know someone who might know where they are.
Yeah.
Plenty of copper on the shelf there.
Yeah.
It's built down jackets.
Because that'd be interesting. I wonder if I could make some real high BC, like 30 cows and that sort of stuff. Solid brass 30 cows. We'll shoot them through your Seiko TRG. Test them.
No way.
Well, my 300 mag's got no barrel in it now. So.
Oh, fancy that. It's not a 300 with mag anymore.
No, it's going to be a 375 short range.
Of course it is.
So
You got a 30 RCM. You can make them for
I do,
that.
don't I? Yeah, that's what's set up for 155s. Actually, I've got to load some more ammo for that. What else is new? What else? This week hasn't been a big week. So for you guys that would have already known that I've been crook. I was crook for about a week and a bit, and now Trent's crook again. So
Yeah,
unfortunately, it's
I was thinking today, I don't think I can remember a time when one of us wasn't sick.
yeah,
It's been about a month.
been pretty silly.
Yeah. It's that time of year,
Which
I
is
guess.
yeah, it's that time of year, and but this goes to show that if you are sick, go home. Don't give it to everyone else, because you just make everyone else's life miserable. Go home, get better, put your feet up, because if you're not at home resting, then you're not getting better. So there's my wisdom of the day. But I don't think there's anything else really new on the market at the moment that we've heard from. Oh, the eye aiming systems. The eye aiming systems we've been told already that all of ours have come off back order and they're on their way over here already. So we should see them next week. I should have told them to pull them out and send them overnight separately. Eye aiming, the new thermal optic that Naya does. They're on their way.
Ah, good.
Yeah, the two bigger models, so they do a smaller one, might be two small ones, and then they do two bigger ones, which I think are like 14 power and
Oh, yeah.
19 power or something like that.
Well, if we can get one for the next long range
Oh, I'll
course,
have one for that, yeah.
like, I could do some recordings and chuck them on Facebook for people to look at.
I reckon the 14 power one's going to go really well, because the actual chip inside it is the same size as the bigger one. So the actual resolution, I think, will be the same. Like the other one will blow it up, but it'll pixelate. You know, so I don't think it really. I think the 14 power one's the one that people are going to really want to go for.
I think
And
14,
it's about $5 cheaper than that.
14 power in a thermal optic, you know, for stuff that, you know, shooting in the dark,
It's a fair bit.
like not that long ago, that was unimaginable.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I better put one on my rifles, I think. And well, we've sort of finished shooting for the year because it's just too wet
And cold.
and cold. You can rub yourself up, but
Yeah.
It's going to get wetter and colder.
I don't think I can't really go shooting in bloody with a doona and Ugg boots on. So
Why not?
I could, but
Yeah.
you can get bet your ass. You'll pull up and you'll jump out and stand straight in a big cow shit or something like that. in Ugg boots. You'll fuck the Ugg boots.
Yeah.
So. All right, well that's a short Friday, and
hang
I
on.
really apologise.
We're getting Macropod asking about the specs on that eye aiming. Have we got the catalogue there? You can finally
We ran out already of catalogues, but I've just had another big shipment rock up. 2 seconds.
yeah.
Yeah, here's one.
Our Zerotech red dots arrived this week.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's something we can talk about.
Well, Bushnell there.
And there's a
Oh, and both of them did, didn't they?
yep. We got a whole bunch of red dots in this week. That's something we can show them. Those have been selling pretty fast apparently.
Oh, yeah, that's him. Yeah, that's right. We had a heap of Zerotech stuff, but we had a lot of red dots rock up. Yeah. It's right at the back, I think, yeah?
That's all there.
Yeah, I think it's like 1 or 2 pages in. No? Oh, full of shit.
No.
I do remember you talked about it, but
Yeah.
you know that's that
It's all there.
was a 40-minute
Tell
video.
me mates, 243 to a 243 Ackley improved. I'm in the midst of writing a little article on Ackley improving changes.
So that'll be next week's
161.
newsletter.
It's only halfway through.
There we are. Let's have a look. But come in and grab a catalogue if you want to have a closer look.
So the 612, this one here, I'm pretty sure. No, it's 2.4 to 19.
That's a continuous digital zoom.
That's 12.8. Well, that must be that one, 12.8.
Yeah, that's what we call
That's the one that I reckon is going to go the best. Because the chip in it, 640 by 512, 640 by 512. So the two big ones have got the same size chip. This one's got the smaller chip, 384 by 288.
Well, that isn't exactly the size. That's more the number of pixels.
Yeah.
The size is a little
But
bit different.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
So because they get the same number of pixels, I think the image will be just as clear. Like, obviously, this will blow it up more, but it might pixelate more if it's a bit further away. So I reckon that one's going to be the big one.
Sometimes more pixels is actually a worse thing for a night optic, but the cheaper one has half as a quarter of the pixels, and it's a lot cheaper. So
Yeah,
obviously
it is a
that
lot
one's a bit
cheaper.
better. Like my new video camera, which is good for nighttime, that one's only 10 megapixels, whereas my regular one's 20. But yeah, I'm really keen to see what this is like.
Yeah, I'm pretty keen to take one
So-
out for a test. A few of the other dealers have seen them, but I haven't seen one. I mean, big soot over it.
Yeah.
How come?
Dietrich didn't bring one past. Well, when he did bring one past, I was there. That's right, you weren't here. Yeah.
And so we've got those red dots there.
Red dots?
So we've got Bushnells and Zerotech Thrives. The Zerotech Thrive is new, but they are both very similar. They're both 1x25. They both have a 3 MOA dot. Similar
probably-
specs, similar price.
Probably come out of the same factory, yeah?
Oh, they're a little bit different. I'm favouring the Zerotech myself. I think I'll get one of the next batch.
That Zerotech's got a mount, pretty much like a knockoff of a, what do you call it?
Leopold.
No, the
But aim point.
aim point. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the way that mounts in and everything.
But that's like $249.
Whereas that's all one piece, you know.
Yeah.
And how does it clamp up then? Just
No, it's just
squeeze it?
pick. Yeah, that's just same as that.
Oh, yeah.
They're the same in that respect.
Yeah.
So, but this mount would come off on the Zerotech, and you could probably get different mounts to go on like a.
Oh, go on a handgun or something.
Well, that's why Aimpoint have got that system.
Yeah,
So you can take off the pick mount and put something else on there if you're not putting it on pick.
yeah. Like
So-
Delta Point used to come with
Yeah,
that sort of
exactly.
thing.
Yeah, yeah.
So they're pretty similar.
Has it got any batteries in it?
I'm not sure.
Oh yeah. Nice big fingerprint. So I don't know if you can see.
Yeah. There's an ad for those going up on Facebook tomorrow morning, I think.
Uh-huh.
So the big question will be, like, a lot of people use these sorts of things on handguns, but there's a lot of people that use them also on, pig rifles and that sort of stuff. Oh, that's good.
And shotgun.
It's gone around to 11 and then it goes back to 0. I like that. I don't like having to screw it all the way back through all the numbers.
No one's got time for that.
I've tested the Bushnells before, and we'll test them again, obviously, if we do a test again. But the Bushnell had 0 parallax error. You know what I'm saying? Like there wasn't any parallax error on that on a 22 at 25 metres. Whereas some of the other brands had parallax error, considerable amount of parallax error. One of them had 6 inches of parallax error at 25 yards. Like it was fucking that much.
That's hit or miss on a
side.
rabbit.
So double if you're going from one side to the other. You know what I'm saying?
How on earth can they make something like that? God almighty.
It's in the design.
Yeah.
Some of them, the way that the design in their manufacture causes it. This design, I believe, mitigates a lot of it. But the only way of knowing that is testing it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's 1 by 20. What's that? 25?
I mean, I think it said 1 by 25. Yeah, okay, 1 by 20. But they used 25 on the name.
Yeah, well, this is 20.
Yeah.
It's smaller.
It is a bit smaller.
Smaller window through it.
Very compact nowadays, they make them.
Yeah. But should we torture test them? Well, this is called a TRS 25, but it's a 1x20. That's fucking misleading. How do we torture test these things though? Do we put them on a Browning shotgun and fucking
Down to the barrel.
Yeah, put them on the barrel.
Well, we could do the aim point where we throw it 40 metres into a puddle and we throw it onto concrete.
I don't think
See if
either of
it
these
holds
would survive.
No, I don't think so
You
either.
don't reckon?
No. Well, we could test it to make
But
sure.
that being said, these are like a quarter the price, or a fifth the price.
maybe
Anyway.
that's why.
Yeah.
I think some people will appreciate being able to drop your gun and actually continue shooting.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it was a test.
shoot one with a 50 BMG and see if it still works. Send it back to Naira and see if they'll do warranty on it. See how good the warranty is.
I think that's an important thing to consider, though.
Oh, it absolutely is.
Who distributes these then?
Tesco.
Tesco, oh
Yeah, Tasco Zerotech.
And they've got a lifetime warranty on them.
Yeah, they do. Sweet. So if you do need one of those Naira catalogues, we've just had a pallet of them rock up. So make sure you come in and grab one. They are free. Naira love to hand those things out, so they send us plenty. We just got to ask for them.
Yeah.
Actually, had a bunch of ammo arrive this week as well. CCI Stingers are back on the shelf.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Stingers are back up here.
Got a whole bunch of OSA bulk packs.
OSA 223, OSA 243. That stuff's really good. We use that for shooting. Oh no, that's hollow point. That's different.
Those are hollow point boat tail, I
Must be
think.
the
70
one.
grain, I think.
Yeah, okay.
What's
We-
some different ones there?
That's
We have-
87s.
Yeah, we have got one pack of the 87s left.
That stuff we shoot out to 1,000 metres, so it's really good.
Yeah, and it hits targets at 1,000 metres.
More importantly,
Yeah, more importantly, yeah. It's phenomenal ammo, really, for that.
Yeah.
for the price of paying.
Yeah, for the price of it. It's so accurate. And it's
Premium, as good as what you can reload.
yeah, it's easily as good as what anyone would reload, I'd say.
Too easy.
A couple of ticker rifles arrived, but you know what they are.
Worth coming in and having a look. At the Weatherby, the varmint. It's all locked up, sorry guys, but
Yeah, we've got a
ticker varmint.
Yeah, we've got two ticker varmints.
Weatherby
One,
varmint.
What about the ticker's coming in a wooden stock now?
yeah, the ticker varmints are in a wooden stock, and
Oh, are they?
Yeah,
they're pretty
Oh, I think
expensive.
someone said that.
yeah, but Harlan was telling
Oh, I
me.
haven't seen Harlan for a while.
No, he was in the week, last week. Yeah, the ticker now is, the varmint rifle is now available in a walnut stock.
Yeah, Nikki updated the website a couple of weeks ago with the new models for ticker.
Yeah.
So go and have a look on that. I'm going to do a story on them in a couple of weeks
Yeah.
when I find out a bit more. I think the varmint with the walnut stock looks quite nice, but it's a little bit pricier than the synthetic, as you'd expect.
Oh yeah, as you'd expect, but you know,
So there's a shortage of that sort of product on offer. There has been for a long time.
It almost competes with a Seiko though, where the features are similar to a Seiko, the stock's a little bit different. I don't know.
Yeah, it depends what the market wants though.
yeah, I was looking at it, a couple of years ago, and what most of the manufacturers have done is you have cheaper and cheaper stocks. The ticker plastic stock, the Ruger plastic stock, the Weatherby plastic stock. They're all built to a price, and that their idea is to try and get their rifle in at a price point that people will buy it. And by putting a wooden stock on it, you probably raise the price by $150, and that puts it
It's
out
a bit more than that.
Yeah,
More,
probably $300 or
yeah.
$400.
It's a bit more than that, I think.
Is it?
I don't know the figures exactly, but you need to ask Ross tomorrow.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
It's interesting to find. I thought it was enlightening to see how much more expensive it was.
Yeah, but it's typical of most manufacturers. They were making cheap stocks on their rifles, and they were doing themselves a disservice, in my opinion,
But then again, people just want to go. So a lot of people want to put aftermarket stocks on them.
Oh yeah.
You know, Boyd's makes a
Yeah,
huge
they do,
range of
yeah.
stocks.
Yeah.
You got Macmillan, they make great stocks.
Yeah.
Got chassis, everyone makes chassis now.
Yeah.
Lots of different choice.
And that's the thing is now that you can get all those things for Ticker and Weatherby.
Mm.
They never used to be able to.
Yeah.
It was Remington or nothing.
Yeah.
You know? So there's more and more of that sort of stuff available.
And now with GRS stocks, I love those. I reckon they're so.
You like GRS?
Oh yeah, they're so smart. They're bloody
Comfortable.
They're comfortable. They're strong.
You don't have a rifle with a GRS stock on it.
I don't. No.
We can fix that.
I could probably fix that though. Get me old number one Model 1 Bruno and put a GRS stock on it, though.
Yeah, right.
Need a half a barrel load of bog to bloody fit it.
Bog it all up, you reckon? Well, you can buy blanks with GRS.
Well, there you go.
Mm.
I've got a blank out
Yeah, you got a blank out there with a slot in it.
there. Yeah, that's right. You could make it fit something.
Make a Seiko fit out of it.
Yeah. But they're strong, rigid, got good adjustments on them.
They're built for purpose rather than price point.
Yeah, that's right.
They're
They
built
are.
by the people who are meant to use it.
Yeah, they're a bit expensive, but still, if you want the best,
Yeah,
you've
but
got to pay
they're
for it.
still not as expensive as most MDTs and
Oh no, that's
Macmillan and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
There's what a lot of target shooters use them. You know, because they're heavy, because they're a laminated stock. It doesn't matter.
That's
You know,
right.
like if you're wanting performance.
Yeah. No, they're a great stuff. Designed originally by a guy who knew what he wanted and knew what you had to have to make.
Well, he was
it.
ex-military.
Yeah,
Oscar.
he didn't have what he felt he needed, so he built it.
Yeah.
You got to admire
In
people
his
that do that.
parents' furniture shop.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, lots of gun manufacturers have started that way themselves.
Yeah.
You know, look at Axis International.
Yeah.
They were just in a fucking backyard workshop.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of people start in their backyard.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Fancy that.
yeah. Well, it always
Oh,
starts off as a...
It's an idea.
Where was it? I was sort of in the half front yard.
No, you're out the back in the shed. Sort of
Yeah.
on the side.
Yeah, on the side, yeah.
Yeah.
But it still worked. Anyway.
They had to put a safe in through the roof.
Yeah. It wouldn't fit through the door, yeah.
Couldn't get it in there. It was
And
too
then-
fucking heavy.
When I moved, I took it out through the roof.
Yeah.
Good,
All right,
Anyway.
we're going to head off.
Yeah,
well,
I don't think
Go and
I've
check out that GMC, the Lynx GMC 50 BMG gun if you got a second to troll through YouTube because it's very interesting design.
yeah.
I think the videos are
They'll make
all
a lever release version.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lever release in 50 beam, in 16D tack.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Oh, you could.
Well, it might just sneak into the very powerful rifle class, and the WA police wouldn't
I
like
think
it.
it would. I wonder how the accuracy of that platform would go though, because you would have to make sure that it when it shut, it went back to exactly the same point every time.
Yeah, we did notice that they were only shooting at close range stuff.
No, I noticed that. Yeah,
In fact, I think one of the first military applications of the Barrett, the recoil action was 500 yard EOD disposal.
yeah,
They'd set up if they found a bomb somewhere on a road, they just set up a gantry 500 meters away and shoot at that. And you don't really need MOA accuracy.
no. Yeah,
But I
I'm
wonder
sure.
if you got any shit or anything in there, it would have to fucking move
Yeah,
stuff around.
Yeah,
How would you mitigate that?
yeah, God knows.
There'd have to be some way of doing it.
I don't know. It just depends.
It's an interesting problem.
Yeah. I don't know.
You're gonna fucking make one now.
I'd like to see one. Who brings them into? Did anyone bring them into Australia?
I doubt it.
We get them to drop us one off, and we can pull it apart.
just leave it with us for the weekend.
Yeah,
And we'll show the disassembly video on Friday Night Live.
yeah.
Yeah, how would you lock it up and keep the shit out of it?
It'd be just like a bloody Adler straight full bolt action.
Oh, I thought you were going to say like an original M16. Just have the gas blow off and just blow all the shit out of it.
Well, yeah, you could have that.
Just fill it up with
She
shit.
fills it up with crap. That was
And
a
with
metal
metal
one. No, I don't know. It could be just a tipping bolt. That's the simplest way to make it work.
I'm talking about the barrel lock up, the way the barrel recoils.
It could,
How does the barrel lock up so it's exactly the same every time?
it could have a cone on the front somewhere.
Yeah, but then you get a little bit of shit on it and it pushes, it doesn't lock up on the cone exactly the same every time.
It just smashes it out. Like the bloody SLR, have slots cut in it so it goes away.
You can have like a sacrificial like plastic bush.
Yeah,
or something.
I'm thinking of like a nylon bushing that you stick on the barrel.
Sacrificial, and it lasts 500 rounds or something, you throw it away. And any shit that's in there just gets embedded into that bloody plastic bush and it just keeps locking up in the same position.
Well,
just mushing all that stuff into it.
Some buffer pads
And then
work that way.
500, then 500 rounds later you pull it out and it's full of shit, you just throw it away, put a new one in.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's a military use, they're going to be sending it back to Yarmouth every day anyway, so...
And I think 500 rounds through one of those things, you'd probably be glad to put it down.
Yeah.
Certainly would.
Yeah.
Give it away to someone else.
Yeah. So
That's what old Dick Hobley said when he went to
His
boys. He went to Bougainville with the 55 boys. Yeah. He said I couldn't give it away to anyone.
I wonder how you'd feel after shooting that. Like, I know Dad used to love the 50 Browning machine gun,
Oh yeah.
but that's a little bit different, I think.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
boys,
You're standing away.
the boys had a recoiling barrel.
yeah, but they were still fucking horrible as
Yeah,
shit.
that's right. No, terrible.
Big rubber recoil, but
Yeah. But yeah, the whole barrel's action recoiled on a slide of some kind. Yeah, I can't remember now.
Oh, do we have any CCR Maxi Mag? Yes, we do have Maxi Mag. I don't know if they're TNT. We've got actually got little milk cartons of them there. What have we got? Yeah, Maxi Mag.
yeah, so Maxi Mag
Win Mag.
cartons.
Yeah.
But then we've also got the Maxi Mag Hollow Point, which is that's the popular
You
stuff.
can't see them right now. Here we are.
And then we've also got the Game Points.
Yeah. We're pretty well off for 22 Wing Mag. We just don't have any 17 HMR.
That's a bonded projectile if you need more penetration. That's better on rabbits and that sort of stuff. The 40 grain.
Let's put it on white instead of having...
Yeah, good idea.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
shooting ground squirrel.
Yeah, that's it.
I do love how they've got the American, wanted poster on the back of the carton.
Yeah.
You know, it's what real men put on their wheat bix in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No doubt about the Yanks.
Ground squirrel. They're different to like those groundhog things or whatever they. What do they shoot over there? By the
Everything.
rivers? No, but there's a fucking heap of things. They burrowing bloody things. They gophers and shit.
Yeah.
They smash the shit
I
out.
wonder if they're actually just a different name to the same thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Yeah. Anyway, so we got plenty of Magnum ammo.
Plenty of long rifle ammo as well. Shelf is full, very full. Come by
Which is
some.
good because it's actually a little bit rare to be able to get stock at the moment. So it's incredibly difficult to get ammunition at the moment. So making most of it while
It's
we've
good to
got
have choice.
I just see an interesting thing that is going to come. Some Remington products are coming through now, about to come through.
All right. What, ammunition? Or?
No, not ammunition yet, but cleaning equipment, aerosols, all manner of cleaning.
Yeah,
equipment.
that was on Nye this week.
Yeah.
Who gives a fuck? It's just cleaning equipment.
Yeah, that's right. But at least they're starting to make something with Remington's name on it again.
I want to see some guns with bloody Marlin and fucking Remington written. I want to see what they're doing there. That's the interesting thing.
I want to see Marlins made again.
Yeah.
Those
No, I want to
125,
see Ruger fucking Model 96s.
those 125 cartons, I think they were 84. I think.
Yeah,
Not 100%
it'll be
sure.
on the website.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I have to tell you tomorrow. I'm going to price on it.
I did put it in the newsletter.
Some smart prick's going to be like, oh, they must be free. Fuck off, mate.
Yeah. No, it'll be interesting to see what Ruger do with Marlin though. Whether they continue to make the same models.
You wouldn't buy Marlin unless that was your intention.
You would think.
Think about it. You know,
I mean,
why buy Marlin, a sinking company? Why buy it unless you had the intention of doing it?
I mean, they don't have anything that really competed with Ruger.
Not really. No,
I mean,
well, 22s.
yeah, if you're going to rimfire,
XTs and that sort of shit.
like it makes sense for Winchester to have bought it because they have lever actions. But then again, this isn't the 1880s. This is fucking
Yeah. But, yeah, I think there's still a big market for lever actions made correctly.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
So, but whether do Ruger manufacture them on the Marlin machinery, or do they do it to, they just use the diagrams and then make it on Ruger machinery?
well, I
Do
would
they
have,
do investment cast bloody Marlins?
I would have thought they'd just pack up all the old Marlin machinery and put it in a different site.
That's what Remington did, and they fucked it up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So you think they would have learned from that mistake?
Yeah.
I don't know. Man. If they
Yeah,
can't-
like, well, but I mean, the new Ruger Americans, nothing investment cast on them, they're all machined.
Yeah, that's right. And with modern machinery, modern CNC machinery, I can do that probably just as quick and easy as investment casting.
But the question is, as you know, a lot of the older designs weren't manufactured with CNC machining in mind.
No, it's
You
not.
know?
Yeah.
But fucking,
You can imagine that on a 6-axis machine, they would do it fairly quick, you know, because the old machinery way would be 10 setups, you know, that you would have to do to make an action.
yeah, but
Maybe more.
but time in the sense of wages wasn't
Yeah.
as
No, it wasn't.
what it is nowadays.
Yeah.
You know, you think about what it would cost nowadays relatively for one CNC operator.
Yeah.
It'd be fucking the price of 20 blokes back in the 1800s.
Yeah.
And they got to get the production capacity out
Yeah.
to be able to pay for it all.
Yeah.
To offer it at a price that people will pay.
Yeah.
Whereas now you could practically have an apprentice running a machine like that. Not really, but I'm a fucking photographer. I don't know about machining.
Probably run 3 machines.
Yeah, but there's certain, there'd have to be certain quality control and that sort of shit.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas back in the day it was, you made that part, you put a stamp on it and it's done. That's
Yeah.
quality control.
Right.
Nowadays you gotta have 3 blokes put it through a fucking thing and micrometer every bloody thing and whatnot and put it in a
But
box.
that being said, it means that our stuff is, you know, better and safer.
Oh yeah, but will it be feasible?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, there's just too many questions that need answering as far as the Marlin side of things go.
I hope it will be, because I might be in the market for one by then.
Well, as soon as they get here, we'll let you know. And those impulse straight pulls as well, when they get here, we'll let you know.
Those are going to be good, I reckon.
I saw a test on them the other day, but I didn't read it. I just saw
Someone testing them.
someone testing them, yeah.
Fucking, how many things can you read though nowadays? Like, we've tested it, and we're fucking, it'll just be an ad, you know, it'll just
Yeah,
be,
yeah.
some blokes fired 5 rounds through it and thought, fuck, that's alright.
Yeah.
And it's like, there's no information on it though, you know?
Or it could be, you know, just a sponsorship deal. This guy's paid by YouTube to do videos,
Yeah.
and he's getting this done for free.
He just wants to,
Advertorial.
well,
Yeah.
not even that, he just wants the opportunity to look at it first or whatever before anyone else.
A lot of people do it
just
for
to
fun.
get views
Yeah.
on his YouTube
Yeah.
account.
Which is, well, I suppose it probably wouldn't work for guns, because YouTube doesn't like guns, but
No.
Looks,
Excuse me.
that's a 10-rounder.
Yeah.
That's the Predator
Yeah.
model.
But that's the thing is,
at least it's going to have a decent sized magazine available.
A lot of the others are only 4-round, I think,
Yeah.
4 and 5 internal, but
which is big game. That's why that one's going to be the big seller.
yeah.
There's why there's big back orders for that particular model.
Oh, yeah.
All right, well, it's going to be me and Bill tomorrow because Trent's crook because he's a big sook.
Well, you were saying earlier, you know, if you're sick, stay home. So,
Yeah, no, that's true.
and that wasn't an option for him last week, so it's a good thing.
Oh, I called him a fag on Facebook last night, and my bloody comment got flagged. Taken down.
It might have even been Facebook themselves. Like, they might have
I would think so.
automatic
I think it was
censorship.
I think it was an automatically generated thing. It was like it flagged my thing because it
Yeah.
had that word in it, and it's like, oh, okay, so yeah, which is probably fair enough actually.
Yeah, it's a fair cop in that case.
But I mean, there's no individuality to it, you know. They haven't taken into account that Trent might actually be a fag. Or is that just a drug term that they don't use anymore? What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Alright, well, we're going, so we'll catch up with you guys. Like I said, me and Bill will be here tomorrow, so come down if you need anything. or give us a ring and we'll go from there.
Yep.
All right.
Oh,
See
well.
you next week.
See you next week.